something. But you get up there and act like you don't even want to talk about Shedeur.
Yeah, we're going to stick with Dylan.
A player on your team. And you sit here and say, in the same sentence, we trying to develop all our players. You're not. Because if you were, Shedeur would have been out there in some of these blowouts.
I said the most egregious draft pick in the entire 2025 draft was Dylan Gabriel. There's no way, if you have any idea what you're looking at, that you could have a third-round grade on Dylan Gabriel. So the pick is looking more egregious by the day. The fact that they won't move away from Dylan Gabriel and admit that they made a huge mistake and at least see what they have in Shedeur Sanders makes them not just look like a bad organization, but it makes them look dysfunctional. And right now, I think they are the laughingstock of the National Football League.
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times Challenge.
Yes, it's just interesting to see how he's going to BS his way through it next time. He was asked about Shedeur Sanders getting an opportunity, and this is what he had to say. I'll let you guys take a listen.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to speculate, Daryl. We're committed to getting better as an offense. Dylan is certainly committing to improving every which way he can, and all the while, all of our players, young players, are developing and working so hard behind the scenes to make sure that they're getting better on a daily basis.
Cut it off. Coach, speak again.
Cut it off.
I'll reiterate what I've already said on this specific channel. People will begin to comprehend and accept what really happened on draft night the longer this Cleveland situation, in which Dylan Gabriel keeps getting starts and opportunities while Shedeur Sanders continues to sit out.
I want y'all to know that when you're a black man in America, right, sometimes you get reminders. You know what I mean? As a successful black man in America, I often get reminders. And in the Shedeur Sanders situation, this is just a reminder that you can do everything right in life. You can come from a good family, you could be a good student, you could be a God-fearing kid, you could be a hard worker, you could beat the odds. Your dad could be a Hall of Fame player and you can beat the odds, because not too many Hall of Fame players have good kids. So you can beat the odds. You can beat, he ain't his daddy, you can beat all of that growing up. But you still get a reminder that you just...
Because Andrew Berry had one of the strongest drive classes in a long time. But I'm hesitant to include him because Kevin Stefanski and Berry both have some degree of success. Juckins appears to be a star in this league for the next 10 years. So there are a lot of hits on that draft, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Additionally, it appears that they struck out on running back.
Now, they traded out of the number 2 slot, right? And added and accumulated a lot of draft capital. So you can make an argument they could have gotten back in the first round and select Jackson Dart. You can also say if they didn't want to trade back into the first round, they had, the first and fourth pick of the second. Tyler Shook went to the Saints with, the 7th or 8th pick of the second. Only a small sample size, but he's shown more potential in that sample size than we've seen from Dylan Gabriel in, 4 or 5 games.
If I'm on that Cleveland Browns team and I continue to get up here and hear what my coach is saying about we not even giving a young quarterback that had a first-round talent that we seen jump in here in preseason and training camp and ball out, that we know is going to bring us some different energy, that we know is probably going to be better than Dylan Gabriel, that we know is going to give us a better chance of scoring some points on offense so we can pin our ears back with Myles Garrett and go play some defense, put him out there. You keep on putting Dylan Gabriel out there, and the offense does the same exact thing every single week. Nothing changes. He has 1 good quarter a week, and he has 2 good throws a game. Nothing changes. It doesn't. Put Shedeur out there and see what Shedeur does.
So like I said earlier, there's no reason, if anybody's looking at this honestly, that Kevin Stefanski should still have a job. The way that he went about this offseason, starting with the draft, the overdrafting of Dylan Gabriel, when nobody had him going in the 3rd round, not even the 4th round or the 5th round. We've gone over this on this particular channel over and over again. Trading for Kenny Pickett, bringing in a 40-year-old Joe Flacco, and then on top of that, drafting a Shedeur Sanders and not giving him an opportunity to go out there and show what he can do. You got him throwing to equipment managers, telling everybody he's not ready when everybody saw what they saw in that first preseason game. And then on top of that, you never give Shedeur Sanders another opportunity to play with NFL talent during the preseason. Because the next time we saw Shedeur Sanders in that final preseason game, he was playing with guys that were never going to make the roster. And so no owner, with all the information that we have now, how Baker Mayfield got out of there and how he couldn't get along with Kevin Stefanski, Deshaun Watson didn't look like the same quarterback, and everybody put it on Deshaun Watson. But now I don't think so. I think Deshaun Watson isn't as washed up as a lot of people say he is or think he is, but we don't know. We're not going to know that because Kevin Stefanski, I don't think, is the quarterback whisperer that everybody likes to put on him.
The only reason Kevin Stefanski can still be playing Dylan Gabriel is if he know he's safe. Only way. Jimmy Haslam has to have approved this decision.
How can you be safe?
Because there's no way you would continue to roll out Dylan Gabriel, who the fans are tired of seeing.
Shady tired of
The
seeing
team tired of seeing. The public perception and personas are tired of seeing. And his offense is tired of seeing. There's no way you can continue to do this ignorantly if you're not safe. I think Andrew Berry wanted Shedeur Sanders. We know that, the general manager.
Yeah.
And Emmanuel. And it was essentially put out by Emmanuel Gabriel. Kevin Stefanski will not be leaving. And if Kevin Stefanski stays in the NFL, it should be evident to everyone, both inside and outside the league, that Shedeur Sanders was what we believed on draft night.
I'm going to tell you, I spent a large amount of the last 24 hours thinking about nothing more than I was thinking about collusion. Because how in the hell does 32 teams in the National Football League pass on a quarterback that was universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country entering this draft, and 32 teams passed on him? Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times they passed on him. How the hell does that happen? 4 rounds. It doesn't happen to a quarterback. We've never seen anything like this before. We've seen guys drop because of injuries. We've seen guys drop because of off-field issues, but we've never seen a quarterback projected to be a top 20 pick, universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, projected to be a first rounder, in all likelihood a safe bet of a late first rounder, and drop literally to the 5th round. We haven't seen anything like that. And when you're talking about the owners, I'm gonna keep in mind, and I tweeted about this, seems very Kaepernick-like, as in Colin Kaepernick.
And when the owner of the Cleveland Browns came out and basically said he didn't have a hand in drafting Shedeur Sanders, and later that day,
I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
that let me know that he had a hand in drafting Shedeur Sanders. As an owner of an organization, you don't come out and say you didn't have a hand in doing something. That should be a given. That's why you hire general managers. That's why you have head coaches. And so, to me, that was another red flag, and that fed right into the narrative of what Eric Dickerson told us, that they were told to draft Shedeur Sanders. And by them being told, it wasn't Andrew Berry, it wasn't Kevin Stefanski. I don't think they're in those rooms, but I don't think they're in those clubs. And so, if they were told, that means the owner was told. And if the owner was told, the owner told Kevin Stefanski, and the owner told Andrew Berry, get it done. And you better not play him. Either that's true or it's not true. If they wanted to see him play, he would be playing right now. There's no reason for him not to be playing. You're talking about the #1 selling jersey. And so if they wanted him to play, no doubt about it, he will be playing, because right now I think everybody's assuming that the Shedeur Sanders is going to get an opportunity. And he may very well get an opportunity, but it's probably going to come right at the end of the season if and when he does get an opportunity. But those are my thoughts on it. Anyways, make sure you guys go ahead and try to keep that conversation going on down below, as we usually do. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button for me one time. And as usual, peace and chaos.